So yes, Cancer energy is represented by the High Priestess, but it's also the Chariot. Hello. And as we draw closer and closer to Leo season, ask yourself, where is the movement in your situation? Like, where are your current actions and feelings? Where are they taking you? Yo, it's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for this new moon in Cancer. Yes, normally we do the dark side, not this time. I I just feel like it's time to harness our energy. And if you want victory over a situation in a situation, then action and integration are required, babe. So let's dive in. Hydrate, light it if you got it. This new moon is happening on July 5th, 2024 at 6:57 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:57 p.m. Mountain Time, and it's happening at 14 degrees Cancer. And you know I gotta hit you with the handy dandy Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale. Hopefully I don't distort the sound too much. I apologize if I do. I'm still figuring out this microphone thing. All right, if that's Capricorn, then Cancer's got to be after, yes. 14 degrees. me. All right, so Elias Lonsdale's description of the 14th degree of Cancer is a dried up steam bed covered with smooth rocks. Unless tragedy strikes, a new earth cannot be accessed. Ooh. Only as all the old, familiar places dry up is there a path to walk revealed beneath. Pristine and beckoning, it is no use looking back. The way lies right here, strewn with experience, memory, loss, and redemption by walking onward. It is a difficult, painstaking journey from here. You have to go so deep inside, burrowing into the cave of navigational realization. You have to go so deep inside, burrowing into the cave of navigational realization that you are held, cherished, known, given all you need, yet as well required, commanded to become entirely purposeful and to be the path and to cease all complaining and extraneous consciousness. This, in order to do what is here to do with your entire being in ringing conviction and fidelity to the highest. Period. Fidelity to the Most High. Oof. Unless tragedy strikes, a new earth cannot be accessed. And you know what that makes me feel is how psychologists have really discovered that people don't change unless they become uncomfortable enough to. Like, we have a certain threshold for uncomfortability, and we can stay in these really uncomfortable positions or scenarios for a long time until it like tips right over the edge of just like too much. That's when change occurs. And I feel like that's what he's describing now. You can read this on your own. Just Google Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale and just choose Cancer 14th. And you can read this for yourself. There was another line that I really liked. You have to go so deep inside, burrowing into the cave of navigational realization that you are held, cherished, known, given all you need, yet as well required, commanded to become entirely purposeful. And that kind of fits in exactly with what I hadn't read that previously. I never do. I always go into that blind with you guys. Let's get into it. We gonna get this work. For my content, y'all, just come join the ethical cult already. Like, I know you want to know more. I know you want to dive in more. There are tiers for weekly content, daily readings, over at Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. We're doing dope shit over there. We really are. I'm forming a really beautiful community and I love it. For free shit, check out my Instasham at JustJ_everything, TikTok at JustJEverything, and for other dope shit that I do and to book a personal reading with me, my website, JustJEverything.com, or feel free to DM me and we can talk it out, make it work. So I have some questions, some preguntas for this new moon in Cancer. I feel like it's an important one. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The sun is sitting on top of the moon. Well, the moon really sitting on top of the sun. It's an important time. And so the first thing I want to ask is, what seeds need to be planted during this full moon? Clearing out any funky ass energy on your side, on mine. Welcoming in my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for this new moon in Cancer that we are having on July 5th, 2024. All right. For our greatest and highest good, please show us what proverbial seeds need to be planted in our life. What do we need to invest in? What do we need to initiate? Because like I was saying, that Cancer energy is the Chariot. It's not just High Priestess vibe. No. There is movement in Cancer season. You know, there is a harnessing that needs to happen. So what seeds do we need to plant for our greatest and highest good? Okay. The Five of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune came out with the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. And this lets me know that there is a fuck ton of fear around romantic love and relationships for some of us. Even those of you who are already in a relationship or in a commitment or a marriage, I feel like there is some fear around intimacy, vulnerability, them seeing this side of you. The dark, heavy, remorseful, hyper emotional side of you. We're needing to plant seeds of acknowledging this shit. because there is an emotional bridge to cross. We've got to get over something from the past, get over someone from the past. And the new seed that needs to be planted is trusting in the divine, studying your spiritual beliefs, studying. Some of you are studying in school. There could also be some like remorse or anxiety or sadness, or I'll just say that there is some emotional conflict around the fact that things are changing and they're not changing at your pace. Divine timing has fully taken the wheel. And it's like we need to plant seeds of doing our part to let go of, to do the seed that the seed that needs to be planted is doing your part to face your emotions, to be honest about what it is that you're feeling. You address the emotional conflict and there will be a turning point. And the way that you address the emotional conflict is by conversing about it. Some of y'all have been putting off a conversation. Some of y'all have been putting off expressing a certain something that you feel. It may involve somebody with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Gemini, or maybe even Virgo placements. But there is something like we're needing to plant seeds of love. We're needing to plant seeds of merging, of communication. Some of you want more than you're letting be known. Some of you, it's like let's say you're talking to somebody and you're ready for commitment and you're scared to say it because you don't think that they are. Or you know that you want to leave your job, but you've been there for so long and you love your coworkers and you're sad about, it's just like whatever this manifests or materializes as for you, whatever this heaviness is that you're carrying around, there's data to extract from this darkness. There's information that needs to be confronted and or studied. If you look, all of them are studying. All of them have a book and they all have wings. And so there's this massive expansion that comes from you allowing yourself to study or evaluate the emotional conflict. Yes, some of the milk has spilled, but you already know, SZA already told us, promise I won't cry over spilt milk. Give me a paper towel. It's time to start reaching for that proverbial paper towel. We've got to. Because it's going to put us in a position where we really, like, especially with Mercury and Cancer right now. This is Mercury. This is a Gemini card. But with Mercury being in Cancer right next to Venus and the Sun, bruh, there's a lot of emotions being revealed. There's a lot of expansion. Funny, the winged animals, these are all the fixed signs and the representation of the four faiths. And then the expansion, the bigger wings here. I just feel like you do your part to acknowledge what's keeping you heavy or down, or talk to God about it. Talk to your best friend about it. Talk to your family about it. Like for some of you, there could have been a third party situation. For some of you, you're terrified of being in love. Some of you, you're terrified of starting over. Some of you are terrified to open up or let your feelings be known. Some of you have some things that you profoundly regret. Some of you are dealing with massive amounts of remorse. And you plant the seed of honesty and life changes. A turning point occurs. There's all these signs and wonders, and all the symbolism really starts to like ramp up and puts you in a position where you really start to feel very deeply again. This is the season of I feel, and this is a new moon that governs new feelings coming in. Actually, the Lovers doesn't need to be out. Okay, so just like seeds need to be planted, what needs to be uprooted? I feel like because I wrote what seeds need to be planted / uprooted. So I feel like uproot this emotional conflict out of you and plant seeds of believing that everything is going your way. Believe, let yourself fucking believe that Jupiter, which rules this card in Gemini, is going to give you these like important conversations, these aha moments that are just needed for progression in life. So let's be specific. What needs to be uprooted out of us? Just like we plant seeds, what do we need to uproot? Arguing with your better knowledge, arguing with like the divine. It's like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is the insight that's come in. This is the aha moment, the upgrade, the information being revealed to you. And you're like, no, I want to go in a different direction. I just heard, I'm tired of digging, Grandpa. It's like, well, that's too damn bad. That's too damn bad. What needs to be uprooted is this kind of movement for the sake of movement. I want to go fast and I want what I want and I want it now. We're having to uproot impatience. I also feel like there's a lot of tit for tat stuff like in the ether right now. Leave before left. I'm going to get you before you get me. I'm going to cheat before I'm cheated. I'm going to, deceive before I'm deceived. All of this is, it's like this misplaced armor. And what needs to be uprooted out of you is going against your better judgment or fighting your intuition, fighting what the divine is telling you. It's like some of you got the truth and you're like, nah, that ain't it. Some of you got the truth and it's like, no, but I want to go in a different direction or I want to do something different. Okay. What needs to be uprooted for some of you, it has to do with some awareness that came in from someone with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements. What needs to be uprooted, it's like when people show you who they are, believe them. When people tell you who they are, believe them. But also, it's like, be careful bringing a knife to a gunfight. Like this sword of truth will very swiftly cut through that wand. So this like unpreparedness, it's like, are you preparing for the life that you want? The things that you want you, but how are you showing up to like, not the battle, but like, yeah, but maybe, yeah. How are you showing up to the battle? How are you showing up to life? Ooh. Okay. What needs to be uprooted is our love for the helmet when God's out here trying to give us a whole crown. Some of us, we're just so comfortable being in fight mode, so comfortable being in the battle, so comfortable being willing to charge into the battle. When God's like, sit your ass the fuck down. You supposed to be in the nobility section over here and you just suiting up. That like willingness to just always, or that expectation that everything is going to be hard, everything's going to be a fight. Uproot that desire to like the hustle and grind culture when it could easily just be like, boop, given to you. Okay. Next question is, what do we need to put action into? Because for this new moon, I channeled the Chariot energy, the Chariot card. And that is about harnessing. One of the big themes of Chariot energy is harnessing and integrating the light and dark. So what do we need to put action into? Ooh. Strength came out. So what we need to what we need to harness our energy or put action into is a different kind of strength. I feel like we need to put action into acknowledging what makes us feel weak. It's time to put action into redefining strength. We need to put action into saying less, observing more. We need to apply our willpower into authenticity and taming our inner beast, taming our inner animal, putting action into initiating a new cycle, a new chapter in life, which will naturally start to unfold when we address the emotional conflict, our hard-headedness, our faith that that it can be easy. I think that it's beautiful that we're all so willing, not all of us, but that some of us are so willing to just grind it out and just fight and hustle and persevere. And we also need to be willing to believe that things can come very easily. Subscribe to ease, please. All right. I also feel like we need to be working out more, moving our body more consistently, needing to get out in the sun, like put action into increasing your physical vitality. Some of you need to put action into healing your relationship to a father, a stepfather, or a Leo. Some of you have someone with Leo placements that is very close to you, and it just may be your turn to be the strong one. It may be your turn to start initiating the conversation, the visitation more often. And so with Cancer energy being the mother, how can we experience more nurturance? How can we attract that in? I feel like everyone watching has a very nurturing spirit, nurturing personalities, and you give that so freely to other people. But do you give yourself the opportunity to receive that nurturing back? Is it, oh, I got it, I'll handle it, I'll take care, versus like, thank you. How can we experience more nurturing? How can we experience more nurturance for our greatest and highest good? Ooh, the King of Wands, which is Sun and Leo energy. We can experience more nurturance by way of being honest with ourselves about our relationship to our initial, like to our, like the caregivers, like our first caregivers, our parents. If there is still some unresolved trauma, if there's still this subscribing to the grind and the hustle, this belief that everything has to be conflictual or hard before it gets good, that needs to be addressed first. And we can experience more nurturance by allowing ourselves to be more confident, trusting in our originality, trusting in our gifts, being a bit more extroverted, putting ourselves out there more, being more willing to connect with other people. we can experience more nurturance by way of being more authentic. If it's a no, say no. If you don't feel good, say that. If something feels off, say it. It's like time, like the more authentic you are, the more nurturance I feel like you're going to be attracting to you. Versus trying to be hard and, acting like you got it all together all the damn time. Okay, and next one is, what basket do we need to stop putting our eggs into? That was fast. I did not expect that. The Two of Cups, it kind of came out on its side. I feel like stop asking the divine about romantic love all the fucking time. Some of us just so hungry to be in a relationship, and you haven't even healed from the past yet. You still got tethers and cords tied all which away. And it's like there's so much more to this life other than connection to romantic love. There is so much fulfillment in platonic love and familial love, and the love that the connections in with your coworkers. It's just like, for some of you, stop putting all your eggs into the basket of this person with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Leo placements. You know who you are. Stop putting your eggs in the basket of like constantly trying to choose, or putting yourself in a position where you have to choose, versus you being still and diligent and loving yourself enough to make space for the right thing to come into your life, versus you constantly seeking it out. I feel like if we all need a reminder every now and again, if what's for you can't miss you. The love that's meant to be yours will be yours. So don't try to force it. Don't try to force it to happen in the time that you want it to happen. Don't try to force the timeline. Don't try to force anybody. All you need to worry about is the fulfillment of your own cup. And whenever you make a life that's so dope, or you just fill your own cup and you feel satiated and full on your own, you're going to vibrate at a frequency that attracts somebody else that has done the same damn thing. So stop thinking that romantic love is going to make your life better. It's like, oh, if I was only somebody's wife, then I'd cook, 3 meals a day, and then I would, take care of the house, and do you do that shit for yourself already? Shouldn't you? You're not going to turn into a, Holly housemaker all of a sudden just because you get in a relationship. If you don't have loving habits with yourself, a relationship is just going to highlight that. And then you'll be doing things inauthentically and setting expectations that aren't going to be consistently met. Hydrate. All right. And finally, we're at the free read section. Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, for this new moon in Cancer, what messages do you have for us? What do we need to know? What do you have to say? I'd like to get out of the way and let you speak freely. Love yourself so much more. Trust that everything's going to be okay. You got to get out of this defensive place. Because if you keep your defenses up, it's like it's like the grade of sift, the grade of the filter that you have is inappropriate. And so you will sift out things and experiences that are for you because you've been defensive. I also feel like for some of you, there's something about standing up for yourself. People who are opposing you from below, baby. All you got to do is worry about the high ground that you have gained and maintain that high ground. Maintain the higher ground. Get to the higher ground. There will be a change in how we experience and express our physical, spiritual, sexual energy. There also may be a change in your relationship with somebody with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements. I feel like they're going to get really defensive, or they start to really like be protective of you, possibly possessive of you. I feel like it's the divine's asking us to really figure out our stance and to get a firm, take a firm stance. I also feel like when you change your mind, there's going to be people who don't like the direction that you're going because they're not going in that direction with you. Yes, this defensiveness thing. And if you keep yourself so stuck in the past or so stuck trying to like prioritize everybody else's comfortability, there could definitely be issues with the new things that want to come in. Be careful keeping secrets. And especially if you have Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements, I feel like it's time really for all of us to get comfortable getting out of our shell. The closer we get to Leo season, that's the season of authenticity. And with the Empress on the bottom of the deck, we're being asked to really step up our self-worth. If you know that you're being treated in a way, professionally, romantically, platonically, if you're being treated in a way that feels wrong or feels beneath you, life's too short. Be done. I feel like some of us our defenses are so up that or we are so stuck in the past or so afraid of history repeating itself that we're missing out on these beautiful gifts from the divine. Please clarify the moon. Keep in mind we have 2 full moons in Capricorn this season. The next one is on July 21st. And this is a major shedding of actions, of things that we do, a shedding of habits. You may have already noticed it. And what if your spidey senses are tingling about something, or if you're afraid of some sort of a deception, or if you're sensing a mystery, or scratch a lie, find a thief. If you are really paranoid or feeling really suspicious of something, I feel like the truth reveals itself. The truth comes out, especially if it involves somebody with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or Pisces placements. I want to say Scorpio too. I feel like whatever question that you have, it comes out of this other person. This like they either tell on themselves, or they reveal something about themselves, and then they try to backpedal, but the damage is done. The awareness has come in. Don't be a groupie, keep it moving, because what's really for you is on the other side of this big truth that's coming out. But we got to be willing to listen. That's why I keep saying there's something about, well, I don't keep saying it, but like that's why I said before, like Say less. Listen more. Because the divine is trying to give us a new earth, new, steady, stable ground to build atop of. The divine wants you to have a structurally sound foundation. But for a lot of us, we got to know what instability, we have to experience instability before we even can recognize stability or security. If you have Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements, I feel like you are very also like worried about like where you're going, worried about like the truth, worried about being deceived or making the wrong decision. And it just feels like you're already on the right path. This reassurance comes in. The like, aha, yes, the confirmation comes in. And so be careful going like full force on something that you don't have all the information on. I feel like there's a lot of fear of deceit or fear of being lied to, fear of being wrong. And the truth comes out. And who needs to be diminished, who you need to back away from, the divine takes care of that. And I also feel like there's somebody, some of you have recently cut off somebody with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements, and they may come back around with a certain sob story, or they may come back around like guns a fucking blazing. And the divine's going to be like, see, told you should have left them the fuck alone. See, told you I got you, told you I was protecting you. And any void that you're feeling gets filled. Soon your cup will be running over. I love you. You got this. Oh my God, ever since I got back from Hawaii, I'm throwing chocolate like crazy. No, I can't even figure it out. I'm like, normally, like, you got this. I love you. Everything's going to be okay, baby. I promise.